Good day, everybody. Hello, Kevin. How are you doing today? Well, we are in Gothenburg, Sweden, and today we are continuing our tour in Norway and heading into Norway proper. We're heading up to Sandefjord, just outside Oslo in southern Norway. And we'll take a quick look at the map while the passengers load in. We have 4 people flying with us today. So we're down here in Gothenburg, Oslo. We're going to take off towards the south, make a right-hand turn out, climbing to 6,000 feet, fly overhead to town. And then once we get up to the end of the departure, we're going to be crossing out over the water and then crossing over into the Norwegian airspace, which is right around this line here, and then into the arrival, runway 18, up at Sandefjord. Weather is bit windy, and it is looking marginal IFR up in Oslo, hence the instrument approach. I'll get the current weather for where we are right now, and I'll throw that into the chat. And there we go. So winds are currently 220 at 18 knots. We're taking off on runway 21. And scattered cloud at 1900, broken at 3200. We're going up to 6,000 feet today. See, it's only 2 degrees here right now. QNH 1019. Current temperature, and we'll check it again when we get a little bit closer. Current temperature up at Sandefjord is winds 200 at 19 knots, 6,000 feet visibility, light freezing rain. It looks like scattered at 1,000 feet, overcast at 1,400 feet, 4 degrees, QNH 1012, and it's supposed to be getting a bit windier with gusts up to 30 knots. Visibility is going to drop to 4,000 feet, and it's going to turn to light rain and mist with broken cloud at 800. So it is closing in, or predicted to close in, so it may be that way by the time we get there. So what we're going to do is we will get on board. We'll get the Twin Otter here up and running. And we will get ourselves ready to go. Looks like everybody's on board. So let's hop on. Alright, so there's the view from the cabin. We'll come to the back. Get that door closed. And there we go. Hop up front, close our door, get the gust lock out of the way. We'll pull out our checklist here and get everything up and running. So fuel quantity, actually let's get the right page out first. So parking brake is currently set. That is confirmed. Emergency fuel switches are both to normal. Fuel selector is to normal. Fuel boost pumps are off. Radio master switches are off. Cabin lights and signs will go up overhead. So the no smoking and fasten seatbelt signs are on. Put the position light on. Or, the anti-collision light. Position light can stay off at the moment. Pitot heat is currently off. Generator switches are off. Flaps are up. And we can confirm that down here. Fuel levers are in the off position. Props are in feather. Power levers are fully back. Ignition switch is in normal, and battery DC master are now on. Fuel quantity is checked. Alright, we're good for fuel. So everyone's on board and doors are closed. So we can get ourselves fired up. While everything spins up, I'm just going to put in our 6,000 feet for our cruise level. That is in place. And time to start up engines. So we're going to be starting our right engine first. Oh, there's everybody coming in. I believe that's Brian, and there's Kevin. So we're going to start our right engine. So right engine fuel pump on and engine start. We have rotation, adding fuel. Alright, sounds good. And she's stabilized and everything is looking good. So we'll come back, left engine fuel pumps, and left engine start. Actually, let's go to that view. And rotation, adding fuel. So we get a good start on that engine as well. After start checklist. Power levers are in idle. Generator switches. Generators are on. Engines are all good, within limits. Radios are on. Autopilot altitude is set. Transponder we'll put on to standby. Get our code in. This is going to be an IFR flight. Gyros and compass. So compass is pointing just off of, oh, what's that, about 112 degrees. And if we come down to the gyro, see we're pretty close, about 112 degrees. Caution lights, we'll come back up to the overhead. Position lights on. Turn on the emergency lighting is armed. Bleed air is now on. We'll put the temperature control to auto. Anti-ice will stay off at the moment, and the compartment fans are on. Alright, everything looks warmed up. Looks like the other guys are all fired up as well. Altimeter is 1019. There we go. 1019 is set. It's looking good. And anti-collision and position lights are confirmed all on. Everything else is good. It's a daytime flight, so I don't need a lot of lighting. Not for the cabin anyway. And we're ready to taxi. So we're going to taxi down to runway 21, which is to our north. And we should be all good there. Alright, so we are going to swing around. We're going to move past this guy here, and then we'll come around and make a turn to the left and get ready to taxi out. Parking brake should be released. There we go. Swing this way to the right. Doesn't feel right to run our props into them. So we're just going to taxi straight forward, and we'll make the right turn on the taxiway here. If you are watching and you want to join in on these flights, all my live streams are open. You can find information on our channel Discord. I'm going to fire that information up into the chats. We fly, it's a combination of either multiplayer or VATSIM flights. Currently our VATSIM flights are on Mondays when we fly the CRJ around Europe. The rest of our flights are all multiplayer. And we fly in various places around the world in the various aircraft. This current series, we're going to be working our way from the south of Norway up to the north. We started down in Denmark, and then we hopped over here to Sweden. Now from here we're heading up to the south of Norway where we begin our tour proper. Looks like I gotta kick the bot again. Give me a second. Let's try that again. I am, their primary chat is on YouTube, but I am watching the Twitch chat. Although I may be a little bit slower in picking up on it. It's given where it's positioned on my secondary screen. There's the Discord server link in both chats. Not only do we post the information about the flights, we post a lot of help. We got a lot of knowledgeable people there about the aircraft and the flight sim in general and computer systems. So if you're having issues or have questions about how to fly certain airplanes, the aircraft we fly in the series, we've usually got separate help chats, at least the big ones, the airliners. So you can always find help there. Guys coming up behind. So Kevin, good news, the beta for Sim Update 8 has gone live. So hopefully they'll be testing that multiplayer function. And we'll be able to figure that out and confirm that it's working. We're going to go left here at Zulu, and we'll use Zulu as our Foxtrot, sorry. We'll use Foxtrot as our takeoff point. It is a 10,000 foot runway, so spacing's not going to be an issue. And of course today we're flying the old Witterell colors, since we're going to be heading up into Norway. Seems appropriate. Get us up to the hold short line. We'll get ourselves ready to go. And you can see the weather ahead. We're going to be going up through that. Hopefully we get above the clouds at 6,000 feet, but who knows. Wintertime clouds tend to be thicker, but not as high buildups. Alright, so we're back to idle. There's the brakes are on. Everything is good. We're working well. So we'll do our before takeoff checklist. Fuel quantities are checked. Both fuel pumps are on. Trim is set for takeoff. Flight instruments are all checked and everything is looking good. Nav and radios are all set. Our flight plan is loaded in. Propeller is now coming up to full forward. Auto feather is armed. Flaps going to 10 degrees. There we go. There's the engines coming up into full tilt. torpedo heat is on anti-ice. We'll see where we are in the clouds when we get there in a minute. Flight controls. There's full left, full right, full forward, full back, and left rudder, right rudder. There's that little glitch again with the camera. Not sure what that was. Should come back in a minute. Transponder is on alt. Landing lights are now on. Caution lights are good, and we are on the correct runway. So brakes off. We will, yeah. For some reason, it happened before in this airplane too. Just kind of lose my ability to look around for a minute. Not sure what's going on there. And I hope they do another sound update to this airplane, because that flap noise is getting irritating when it keeps running like that. I do like the fixes they did made, but they could do a little bit of fine tuning on the sounds. Alright, here we are. So we're going to run the engines up to about 45. On the power, and that's us power set for takeoff. We don't want to go all the way to 50. That's our max, because she will creep slightly when we're in the air, either forward or back depending, so we just want to hold it there, and we're up. It's me talking too much, not paying attention. Alright, we got a nice climb. We're going to go for about 100 knots. That's a good climb rate. The autopilot on. We're going to go to nav mode, and we're going to 6,000 feet, and we're going to set a vertical climb speed of 1,600 feet per minute. Bug around to our course, and we're going to go to GPS mode. I don't know why we were in V-lock. We'll get back on course now. And here we go. Flaps coming up. That's when we should be hearing the flap sound. Now that we're in the climb proper, we'll bring the power back to about 90% on the props. And that's us at climb power. And we're through 3,000 feet, so I'm going to turn the landing lights off, and the taxi light will come off. A little bit of we do have ice, so we're going to come over to the windshield heating. We'll get that on, and because we are seeing ice, there we go. We're going to turn on the de-ice, we're going to go to automatic mode on the de-ice. We're going to also turn on the intake and prop anti-icer. And that's the de-icing boots on the leading edges of the wings and the stab and stuff. Still don't have my buttons back yet. That's fine. So we're in the climb, so the flaps are up. Auto feather is now off. Climb power is set. Landing lights are off, and we're climbing out at 1,600 feet per minute. Roughly, which is giving us a good climb rate, and we're up to 1,000 feet to go. And we're kind of getting up above the clouds. Make a little bit of a right turn here, and that's going to take us out to the coast, and then we turn north and head up the coast of Sweden to the exit point for the departure, and then we turn out over the water. So now that we're in level flight coming up, we're going to bring the power up to 40 inches. And we're going to bring the props back to 76%, which will put us into cruise setting. There we go. And there's our right turn, and we're heading off towards the coast. And still got some high clouds there we're going to probably run into. Now that we're in cruise, we can turn the radio on.
The effects of the pandemic can be felt by anyone, anywhere.
Great. First thing we get is a commercial.
Free mental health and substance use support accessible from everywhere, no matter where you are or what you're feeling. Get help here. A message from the Government of Canada.
Nice view at the back seat here. We got the door, so there's a little extra leg room. Let's see how the performance is if I put the map up. Just do the log in here. There's the charts. So we are going to go here. Let's just unload that. We'll go to the world map. And we'll just zoom in a little bit here. So we can see where we are. Go about there. Like to the follow. Sorry, adjusting the map and I missed the name, but I do appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying. Say hi in the chat if you would be so kind. So the warm temperatures here, no snow on the ground. Hopefully we'll get to start seeing the snow when we get further north. There's the coastline coming up. And then in a minute we're going to make that turn to the north. Yeah, there's something going on with this airplane where, for some reason, my buttons get, they sometimes work, they sometimes don't, and I'm not sure what's going on with that. There's the guys. Few aircraft in the air. There's a nice cumulus build-up down there. We are running live weather and live time. So this is what it looks like, apparently, over southwestern Sweden at the moment. So we should be making the turn any second now. And then we're going to head up here along the coast. There we go. Definitely looks like we'll be running in and out of some clouds here. We're making good time. We got a ground speed of about 142 knots, so the winds aren't too bad at the moment. Considering our indicated airspeed is about 140. Going to pull the power back now that we're settled in. Get that down to 40 inches for our fuel flow to be about 300 pounds an hour. There we go. So flight time for today's flight is just over an hour. There's the town of Gothenburg coming up on the right-hand side. So we have that bridge over the water here. We're going to make a little bit of a turn to the right. There we go. And that's going to put us on our final stretch up towards the exit point off the SID. And we'll be turning out over the water at that point. So we've got about 35 or so miles to go before that turn point. You can see we're about 107, 106 miles out from the Oslo airport at Sandefjord. Very nice. So I can leave you with the wing view for a few minutes, and I'm going to go fix myself something to drink. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I'm back right now. We're getting close, although we're at a slower speed, so it's going to take a little bit. I'll bring up the approach, or the arrival. We're heading up to Repku. That's going to be our entry point into the arrival here for runway 18. At this point, we'll be fine where we are. By low up, we're going to descend to 4,000 feet. We're then going to fly north past the airport, which is located here. And after we pass TO 417, we're going to descend to 3,000 feet for Unvid. Ideally, this would be the point at which, if there was ATC, you would get vectors around. We're just going to vector ourselves around for the ILS, and that is going to take us onto the ILS, which is here. So we're coming in here through Unvid. As you can see, we do have terrain to the west of us, so we got to watch that. So from Unvid at 3,000 feet, we're going to come in and then make the turn to pick up the ILS. And when we hit the Robu, which is here, we should be able to pick up the glide slope and begin our descent into the airport. So for our arrival, we're going to be landing. We're then going to taxi down to the end, come off at W2, and head over to the main apron. And at the main apron, which is here, we're going to be parking at stand number 2. So that's the plan. So if we go back to the ILS, we got a few things we can do now as we come in. There is an NDB in the area, and that NDB frequency is, I believe it's 404. Yeah, 404 is the NDB frequency. So we're going to come around here, down to the NDB, or the ADF, and we're going to tune in 404. We just switch these around. So we'll go to 404, and 4, we'll click, and so that'll give us the beacon, which is just north of the airfield. So it'll give us a beacon here pointing us in the direction we want to be going to make sure. And we're going to turn the ring to 175, which will be the heading we'll be flying in towards the runway. So we'll get that around. And of course 175, just 5 degrees east of south. There we go. So that's now set. So the ILS frequency is 108.3. So we're going to go over here, and on nav 1, which is here, we're going to tune 108.3. So we'll push this over to there, 108.3, and we'll flick that up. So that is now the active in our VOR 1, which we will use once we go into approach mode, and that will display on this display here. The other one we're going to tune in is the TOR VOR, which is located at the other end of the runway when we're approaching it. Aquitania, yeah, Waterland Falcon. I figured it was something along those lines. It's nice. I do like it. So it's at the other end. It's going to be 113.85. So we're going to come down to nav 2, and we'll switch over there, and we'll go 113. Let's get that 3 and 0.5. And 113.5. So that's now in the second one. So I hope you can see where I'm getting these numbers from. There's the ILS frequency is there, the VOR frequency is there. I had to look up the NDB frequency on another chart. It does not show here because for this approach it's not in use. And we read through. If we have a missed approach, we can climb straight ahead to 3,000 feet, and 14 miles out from the ILS, we turn right and then circle back to the TOR VOR and enter a hold at 5,000 feet. So that's what we would do there. Coming down to the bottom of the chart, we want to take a look and see what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be doing the Cat 1 landing. That's all we can do in this airplane. Our decision height is going to be 482 feet or 200 foot above the ground.
Hi everyone, I'm Brene Brown.
So there's nothing to set on that. The airplane will give us a call out at 200 feet of minimums. So at least we know when we're 482 feet, that's about where we got to be able to see the runway. So as we cross through 500 feet, we're going to be looking out for our points, what we can see. So we've got all that information.
Unlocking us is a Spotify.
The last thing we want to do is grab the weather and see where that sits at the moment. This will kind of be our last update. As we just passed the hour, we do have an updated weather. I will throw that into the chat here. So as you can see, winds are 200 at 20 knots. We're landing on runway 18, so that's good. We have 8,000 feet of visibility, which is acceptable. There are minimums, but we're above that. We have scattered cloud at 900 feet, overcast at 1,200 feet, so we are going to be descending through the clouds probably. It's 4 degrees. QNH is 1011. We have a change in the weather. It's going to get gustier. Visibility is going to drop. We're looking at light rain and freezing rain, mist, and broken cloud at 800. So the weather is deteriorating as we fly in, but we are going to set 1001 in our baro settings now. Oh, it just does it on the 2, so we'll go there. So our baro is set, and we are good for our approach. So we're now on the approach. We've passed the waypoints. We're coming into our next set of restrictions. So we're going to descend now to 4,000 feet, and that's going to set us up for the arrival. So we'll come over here, 4,000. And we're going to go down at 1,000 feet. And we're going to pull the power back to 30 inches, and that will help us maintain that cruise speed of about 140 on the descent. You see the land for Norway is coming up here. The airport is just north of the town. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and fly up this way, loop around, and then come in from the north. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool story. That's pretty neat. So we got some, looks like frost on the wiper blades. So we got 1,000 to go. So since we are going to be coming into the airport environs, I'm going to turn the landing lights on, and I'll turn the taxi light on now. Seatbelt signs have always been left on. It was a bit bumpy through the clouds. And really, there's nowhere to go. They can't wander back there anyway. Over that power back to 30 inches again. I got my buttons back for some reason. And there's the guys behind us. Looking good. But we're still in the soup here. The altitude alerters come on because we're within 1,000 feet of our target, and we lost that downward visibility, so it was expected. And we usually get more cloud over land masses than we do over water anyway, and we're coming up towards the shore. And And it's something that was said in chat. I think Brian said it. Yeah, we get more turbulence in cloud. Cloud is formed by the movement of water vapor, usually through convective airflow. There's not as much of it in the wintertime, which is why the cloud layers are usually thick but narrow. Where in the summertime, because there's a lot of hot air movement up and down, well, hot air up, cold air down, you get a lot more vertical movement, which is where you get your towering thunderstorms and those big cells that come up in the afternoon. Alright, so we're making our turn now. We're heading northwards. As you can see, we've switched over on the GPS. So we're going to be tracking up towards the coast now. And we're not picking up the VORs because we haven't had a flip here. And we're not picking up the NDB because we haven't had that one go yet either. There's a little break in the clouds there, but not much. So we're down level now. We'll bring the power back up to 40. There we go. Still in cruise power settings. This is a pretty versatile aircraft. Short field takeoff and landing. It's also, you can go up to quite an altitude. A little while ago, you can go back and watch it. We did a stream where we flew from Kathmandu up to Lulka in Nepal, and we flew around Mount Everest, and we were at 22,000 feet for that flight. So this aircraft can get up fairly high, 25,000 foot service ceiling height, but generally used for dirt strip, short field stuff. And as we'll be doing on this series, smaller airfields as we go up the Norwegian coast. Alright, so 4,000 feet, yeah, no visibility out the windows. Which is not good. You can see the trim is working away here, trying to keep us level. Part of that's from the turbulence that we're running through. Still got all the anti-ice on. So right now we're just going through the clouds. Yeah, we're looking at a bit of a crosswind on approach. It'll be slightly out of the right when we're landing. Steady at 20 knots, but they say it's going to be changing probably to a gusting of up to 30, so we'll have to watch for that. We may start getting some gusts. But everything is looking good, fuel's looking good, everything else is looking good as well. So we'll do our descent checks now, just run through them. Fuel quantity is good, selectors were on the proper tanks. Caution lights are all set as where they should be, anti-ice is on. Altimeters, we went through that and set that, signs are all still on, landing lights are on as well. That's all we have to worry about now since it is a fixed gear aircraft, are the flaps and power. We have what we call the gump check. Which is done very quickly as you're on final, and it's one last minute check. It's GUMP for gear, undercarriage, mixture, props. More for smaller aircraft. I used it when flying the retractable 172, the Cessna RG, the Cutlass, and you'd always do a quick gear what does it go? Gear, undercarriage, no, gear. Yeah, can't remember. I'm sure it was gear. Gear, undercarriage. Oh, maybe it was down and a confirmed down, mixture, and props. It's been a while. I always forget to put the yaw damper on. See if that helps any. So we're almost abeam at the airport. I'm not getting any NDV signal. I wonder if it's even active. Interesting. I'm not picking up the other VOR either. Probably because I don't even have it set properly. So 1083. One 11385. That's why. Let's dial it correctly. 11385. I never finished dialing that in. So we should get a. There we go. Okay, so that's flipped. So that's telling us that the VOR is off to our left, and we are currently, because it is correct, flying away from it. So if we tune this over to .175 as well. Now the reason it's flipped over, and this is something that catches a lot of people out, is this is just a sensor. It can't tell where we are, but because we've turned it this way, as far as the airplane knows, that's the direction we're flying. So it's going to say that we are, if that is the case, then it is off to our right. So if we did happen to be flying that way, it would show to our right. As you'll see when we turn around and come in, it should still point that way. If I remember this all correct.
Just think about it. We renovated 3 years ago, but it still feels like there's a million things I'd like to do today.
Alright. So I think we can
allows you to manage your resources.
Kill the radio for now. Oh, look at that. Oh, but a cloud breakout here. Again with the rainbows. And we've got snow on the ground. Fantastic. The airport? No. Too far north. That's just farm country, but hey, we're out of the clouds. So what we're going to do now is we're going to descend down to our intercept altitude of 3,000 feet. So we're going to do the same thing. We'll come over to 3,000. We'll go into vertical speed mode. Bring her down to 1,000. Bring the power back to 30 inches. And this will set us up for our intercept. Definitely got weather in the area. And shortly we'll be making our turnaround to get ready to start coming in. Yeah, that was an airfield we passed, a small one. Not the one we're going for. 500 feet. We're going to keep the speed up until we get to our descent point. This is an IFR approach, so I'm not too concerned about what's out front, but you can see the water here. And our turn point's just somewhere up before we cross over into the water. You can see the arc starting there. So we're coming up for 2,000 feet. We're starting to level off, so we'll bring the power back up to 40 inches. Props are still back in cruise mode. That'll bring our speed, keep our speed around 140. So we're going to turn left. We're going to fly on that westward heading for about 6 miles, and then we're going to make the turn in towards the intercept point, And at that point, we'll go into approach mode. So I do want to tune my heading indicator. To 175. That's the direction we will be going. So there's the turn. And on the map down here, we're just going to come over a little bit, and then we're going to make the turn and then fly straight in. And then we can get rid of that now. There comes Kevin. I'm sure Brian's tucked away back there as well, probably a little bit more behind me. You can see the next turn coming up as well. So we've got 30 inches set, power's back, fuel is good, fuel quantity is good, all the landing lights and everything are on. We're going to leave the de-icing on because, as you can see, we've got more cloud to go through. We're probably going to head back into it over by the airport. And once we make the turn, we're going to go into heading mode, so it'll follow the heading bug. Then we're going to turn this to V-lock, so it's now following the localizer and not the GPS on that frequency of 108.3. You can see it's picking it up. There's the glide slope there. The glide slope indicator is up. Turn this over to 175 once we get onto V-lock mode as well. We got about 2 miles to go, and then we'll make that turn. Aslak is 12.7 miles out from the end of the runway, the localizer. Max speed of 220 knots, obviously we're not slower than that. Landing distance on the runway is fairly good, it's 9,200 feet, so we won't need the reversers on the, beta mode on the props. We are still in and out of the, we are again live weather, so low sun here in the winter time. Oh, there's our Twitch chat coming in. Very nice. Of course, it was a bot. Hello, J3. Well, you had a nice sleep in, that's good. You've joined us just in time for landing in just outside Oslo in Norway. So there's the turn, we're heading south. Oh, there's J3 there at the airport. There's Kevin. I'm assuming Brian's around here somewhere. Alright, so we're now going to switch over to heading mode. We're going to come over here, go into V-lock. You can now see that's coming live. We're going to dial this around to 175. It's a bit of a slow process. It's like this in real life too on these airplanes. See the glide slope starting to come in. There we go, that's now set, so we're now going to go to approach mode, and we're now going to start tracking the VOR. This is going to be fairly sensitive now that we're in fairly close. We're coming in on, was it 1.8? Coming into line up now. Do the fine tuning, fine adjustments. So when this gets to 1 notch up, we'll start the slow down procedure. I don't know. Ryan, are you still around? I'm not seeing you. Maybe the multiplayer bug. We're also going to be tracking on a slight angle because of the wind. So we're down to 1 notch. So we're going to start bringing the power back. And we're going to go full forward on the props. Here goes the power down. Glide slope's coming in. Oh, you're behind me, okay. Yeah, I might have missed you in that kerfuffle of icons I saw back there. And there's the glide slope. So, bring the power back. 210, let the aircraft start slowing down. We're starting to get some rain on the windshield. Power back. We're going to first notch of flaps, and we'll bring the power up. We're going to keep the speed up at around 90 on our approach. So we got a little bit of a crosswind going there, and look at our angle. That's with that 20 knot wind, 20 knot plus wind coming out of the west. That speed a little bit. And we want to keep it around that 90. We'll go second notch of flaps. And that'll set us up for landing. And we'll hold that speed to 90. 500 feet, we should be able to see the runway. Track of the glide slope and localizer. And everything is good. So we're on full instrument approach on autopilot. Cannot see the airport. Kevin has decided not to follow the published approach. He's heading in anyway. So there's 90. We'll touch down around 85. But I do want to keep that speed up just to help with the gusting. So that's us through 2,000 feet. Let's start to make out, looks like the runway end lights. I'm not sure you can see it on the stream yet. That's fine. There's the outer marker. Not sure why the inner marker light's flashing there. We're nowhere near close enough for it to be the inner marker. So airport elevation is 286 feet. We'll call it 300. So if I'm looking at decision at 482, 200 feet above the ground. That would put it at about 500 feet. But I can start to see the airport. I can see the PAPI lights. I've got some of the runway lights. So we've got enough points of visual confirmation that we can continue the approach. Can't believe somebody's out there in an Icon A5 in this weather, but it's all good. It's nice to see we got some of the snowy weather out. Alright. So everything is set. We're just going to monitor our way down. Keep an eye on that speed of 90. With 700 feet to go before minimums. Oh, you're not seeing the storms we got? Yeah. We seem to be slightly below. It's bringing it in. 500 feet to go. We're going to take over. Aircraft is mine. Getting some precipitation. We'll get ourselves lined up, and then we'll crab it if we have to. There's Kevin coming down. We're on the glide. Slightly high. Put our nose down slightly. We got a long way to go to get to the other end, and again, it's going to be a right-hand exit to the terminal. So we're not too worried about that. Bring the power back slightly. Speed start coming back a little. Landing. About 80 for touchdown. Yeah, I know I'm below it, but I'm not a jet, so that's fine.
30, light slow. 20. 10.
Power back. And that's us down. Oh, welcome to Oslo. A little bit of aileron into the wind. And we'll taxi down to where we can get off. Leave plenty of room for Brian coming in behind us. I turned the wipers on, but man, are they ever loud. Way louder than they should be. Or at least they were. I haven't checked with the latest update. Again, we're going to head down to Whiskey 3. And we'll get off the taxiway there. Just not sure how well interconnected they are. is this? Is this Whiskey 3? It's Whiskey 3. Again, we're heading down to the terminal building on the far end. So flaps can come up. Transponder will go back to standby. Landing lights off. So we'll make the turn here. That stays on. Whoa. Alright. You're getting a little twitchy on me. I was going for the anti-ice. Oh, it's hard to do that in this thing. That's why we need co-pilots. And we're not going in the corner slot, but we're going in the next one up. Props are coming back. Gate number 2. Hello, Nick. How are you doing today? Alright, so we're here in rainy, snowy, cold Oslo. Alright, so we're going to do the shutdown. So parking brake is set. Propeller power levers are fully back. Oops. Stop that. That's the one I want. Propellers going into feather. Generators coming off. Wait for the props to come back into feather mode. And there's Brian pulling up there. So props are in all feather mode. And there's Brian parking. So cut the fuel to the right engine. Cut the fuel to the other engine. Other being left. And we'll kill the taxi light. Alright, fuel boost pumps. Oh, that's going to be a long day for you, Nick. That's going to be a very long day. So we'll turn off the windshield heating. We'll come back up top. Let's do it this way. It's easier. So we're going to turn the air system off. Strobes are off. Compartment fans are off. Torpedo heat can come off. All our lighting will come off. We'll disarm the emergency lighting. Bleed airs will come off. That's all off. And that is all off. And kill the battery. We'll get out and we'll go to the back and open the door for the passengers. And there we go. It is a rainy, miserable, just slightly above freezing day here in Norway. First official stop in Norway on this tour. And from here we're going to keep heading to the north. Thank you all for flying, and we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, tomorrow is our Pan America stream, we are flying from Basra, Iraq to Karachi in Pakistan. Should be about a 4-hour flight. 1300 Zulu for those that want to join in. We are flying the DC-6, but you can fly any aircraft that's of a similar type if you have it and want to do the flight. And we will see you there. Thanks again for flying with us, and have a great day. Bye for now.